What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. Sweet Baby Inc. was like patient zero, really, for the whole Gamergate 2 and the whole exposing of these consultancy companies that, man, on the highest end, did we think they were more nefarious and that they had more power than they did? Probably, but also, no, they definitely had more power and will over the companies than we thought they did, and we're getting that proven more and more. So yes, were a lot of the gaming studios already corrupted, and by the time they called in someone like a Sweet Baby Inc. or a Black Girl Gamers or a Gamer X consultancy companies, the meal was already spoiled, yes, but also sometimes there were just some completely normal companies in games, and because of pressures and DEI scores and trying to get money at the time from the investment firms that would give you the money if you were saying the right things and working with the right people, yeah, they definitely had their projects taken over, and now we've got some more proof of that coming from Sweet Baby Inc. employees, specifically Cameron Wilds, who then the things that person has said, you can recontextualize a lot of the comments that Kim Blair has said and realize she was not joking or being fun when she was talking about taking people out and threatening them. 100% what she meant. So this latest development adds significant weight, growing concerns that Sweet Baby Inc. is not merely a consulting firm, but a gatekeeping mechanism steering game development towards rigid ideological outcomes, even against the will of studios. And some of that is certainly true. So the new leaked clip, Gothic Therapy, they did a whole expose on this. By all means, go and check out their channel, but we're just going to get the nuts and bolts of it. In the leaked clip, Wilds recounts an interaction with the developer, and you can best believe that this interaction with this developer has been, you could take that little interaction and have it with multiple different developers on all the projects they've worked with. This is a similar pattern of they propose something, the developer doesn't like what they proposed, and then they use emotional terrorism, for lack of a better word, to hammer them down until eventually they capitulate. Cameron's saying here, being met with a less than optimal response to that, and then having to say it again, and then again, and again, until they break down. So the Sweet Baby Inc. narrative designer also reflecting on leveraging personal emotion to make the argument more compelling, admitting that vulnerability was deployed not for mutual understanding, but as a pressure tactic. The intent, according to Wild, was not to inform or to advise, but to instill enough emotional weight to force compliance. Guilt. And of course, this goes right along with what we heard Kim Blair say multiple different times, that go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. If you don't make male and female in the new Oblivion Skyrim remaster, if you don't change that to type 1 and type 2, do you realize what they're going to say? Like that type of dumb shit that is not true, but they use emotion, and already people who are feeling guilty white people, in order to do this dumb shit. If I can't sell them on, hey, don't do that, I can instill fear in them by suggesting that once it gets past us, someone else will take them down for this. So that was Blair, but as pointed out here, these statements were once waved off as tongue-in-cheek or hyperbole. They're not. When you pair it with Wild's confession, they are a deliberate method, not a joke. And as Gothic Therapy describes it here, it's narrative domination. It's 100% narrative domination. It's emotional terrorism is what it is. And again, look at how far they've come. Exchange wasn't taken out of context, all the things that Kim Blair has said. It wasn't hyperbole. It was a deliberate reflection on a successful campaign to wear a development team down so that Wild and Sweet Baby Inc. could get what they wanted. Happened with, I am more convinced than ever that in Alan Wake 2, there is a reason that the secondary character, who I don't even remember the name of because I never finished that fucking game, was changed and then recontextualized. The whole thing. They had a white actress, and then all of a sudden they had the black one. She's 50% of the gameplay, and then all of a sudden makes her absentee father. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And of course, Spider-Man and Miles Morales, and they've got God of War. They've got their fingers in everything. Wilds, of course, one of the worst, here admitting they wish they were a little less vulnerable in that clip. This is the person that also said that, yeah, Sweet Baby Inc. is ready to burn the games industry to the ground, i.e., so that they can rebuild it in their image. Unless you're willing to step out of the limelight as a white person, you aren't equipped to tell a story as a black experience. And that is the thought process of most of the people inside of Sweet Baby Inc. and all their little cohort, friend, associate, Gamers X, Black Girl Gamers, shit like that. And just a reminder, this is also Cameron Wilds, who compared white male gamers to picky babies. That's what Sweet Baby is, by the way. They think gamers are spoiled little babies, and the ones that listen to them are sweet babies. So if that's not grotesque enough, I don't know. So just further evidence from Cameron proving that, yes, indeed, they do force gaming studios through emotional manipulation, emotional terrorism, whatever you want, manipulation tactics, to do what they want, not as what is best for the property. There's a reason Steve Jobs talked about not wanting to bring in too many consultants, things like that, because they are transitory. They do not have actual weight and responsibility, and they come up with dumb ideas and then they leave, and they don't have to sit with the ramification and the fallout of those ideas. So yeah, get effed. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this. A lot of FUs. We were right. Sweet Baby Inc. and other game consultancies do force their thoughts and beliefs and stories. And it's finishing out here. Someone makes a great story, a great Jesus Christ, I know words. Gothic Therapy finishes out their expose here, asserting that it isn't just about one consultant or one studio. It's about a culture of silence that allows emotional coercion to masquerade as creative consulting, and about an industry increasingly shaped by firms with stated goals of ideological transformation. So at the end of the day, whose story are you making? Are you making your story, or are you making Sweet Baby Inc.'s story? Anyway, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. Shout out to Gothic Therapy and the Master of TDS. Great people. Make sure to go like, share, and sub to their channels. And
well, bye.